Sports View London Boxing News from the capital city, here with George Groves trainer Paddy Fitzpatrick. How are you, Paddy?
Good, brother. You?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. It's a nice media workout in here, Paddy.
It was good. It was alright.
Yeah.
Shake and bake.
Yeah, a bit hot in there for me, I must say, but you're used to it. Paddy, you seem to be strutting in like you seem a very happy man at the minute. Is that your general?
Yeah, I'm pretty easy going to do it anyway, so, you know, it's all over now, all the training is done, so there's nothing to be worried about. It's fight time, there's no point in stressing out. We've done the preparation, now it's just a countdown.
Definitely. And George looking in terrific shape in here, Pad. Have you tweaked anything in this camp as opposed to previous camps, or?
Well, whether you win or lose, you never have a complete fighter, so there's always things you improve on. If George had gone on to win that last fight and he was still and he was a world champion today, there would still be things he needs to improve in order to attain the world title and to move forward. So it's needless to say then we had work to do because we didn't get the win. So either way, there would always be things to improve and tweak.
Most definitely. And going over old ground slightly, was you happy with the performance so far in a Froch rematch until the end result?
Yeah, I had Carl winning the third round and the fifth round. I didn't think that Carl could find his distance early on. He was falling short. I was quite comfortable with where George was. He had won the first and second. Like I said, the fourth was a big round for him. The sixth was a big round for him. So I was comfortable with the way things are going. I told him at the end of the sixth round, okay, don't walk into the fire now, but it's time to start nudging him back. And he went to the ropes when he shouldn't have. And he made the mistake of shooting the hook off the line and opening his shoulder up, and I'm sure you know the rest. Yeah.
Pat, would you ask George the same question? Would you say we've seen the best of George Groves?
No. I think as a fighter, that's probably the little bit of the frustrating thing for us, because as a fighter I do believe he's improved over the last year. As a fighter he believes he's improved over the last year. I think it's fair to say that people have seen improvements in him. No one expected him to do what he did in the first fight. He was in the second fight, you know, so he is at that level. So, but we're still not world champions yet. So there is lots left to improve in George, and he's the type of student who's willing to learn and willing to improve. He's not content with where he is now. He wants to be the best that he can be. So he's not content. There's still room.
Definitely. And would you say you're obviously in the gym with him on a daily basis? Would you say his power's peaked yet, Pat? Have we not seen
his power's peaked yet? You know, he can hit hard, can't he? He hits like a little mule. Yeah. But he is into his third camp now with Dan and Father O'Connell here, doing all his strength and conditioning and the physical improvements on him. So that will bring through more, obviously, and obviously the better he gets in his technique. So there's always improvements to be made, but he's pretty raw. He can punch anywhere because he's got that raw power.
Definitely. And the time you had it in America, Big Bear Pad, is that the first time you've been out there?
No, I used to live there. I lived in Los Angeles for 4.5 years. I lived in Vegas for around 4.5 years. So I had a camp already in Big Bear when I was with Brewster before he fought Klitschko the first time.
Right.
So I was there for 6.5 weeks, and that's why I suggested we go back there.
Was that your suggestion to go out there, get away?
To go back there. It wasn't necessarily to get away.
Yeah.
He'd prepared for the two biggest fights of his career here in England, and I think that coming off the last fight with the loss the way we have, I needed something to be different. I didn't want to prepare the same way as we did the last time. I needed there to be something else to attract his mind. I thought about going out to Europe to get some sparring, but in his mind I think George would have still been, you know, I believe I'm better than these guys. So I needed to take him somewhere to get hard sparring to test the waters. There's going to be emotions attached to his last fight. With any man, I don't care who they are, they're going to have emotions attached to him. The difference between an ordinary man and a great man is how he deals with those emotions, but I prefer those emotions come up early in a camp than just before the ring walk. So it made sense to me to go out there and work with somebody as high quality as Golovkin.
Most definitely. And is that a move made by yourself that you think we're going to see a difference in this George this time round. You know, you can't buy that experience sparring with the likes of Gennady Golovkin. You know, no one wants to do that.
You can't buy the experience of it. I don't think necessarily that sparring is going to make him a better fighter for this fight. The whole idea of going out there and getting quality sparring against somebody like you say, who people aren't lining up to fight him or sparring. The whole idea was for him to know in himself that he came off that loss, got straight back in there with a high-level opponent in hard spars. These aren't, you know, technical spars. These are hard spars. So for him to go out there and test himself and go, okay, it was just a mistake. I'm still good to go. As far as seeing a better George Groves, I think the last two George Groves you've seen have been quite good too. So we just, you know, the better George Groves would be not to make that mistake.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we watch boxing because guys hit each other. We don't watch boxing because guys miss. We wouldn't watch two Floyds fight each other. We'd be bored. We'd go home after 2 rounds, as great as he is. And the only reason guys get hit in boxing is because they make mistakes. So we watch two of the best guys in the world consistently make mistakes, and that's why we're attracted to it. But the thing is, with boxing, it's about making constant adjustments. But sometimes you don't have room for adjustment, and when that shot hits and it's all over, they're one of the shots that you just don't have time to make an adjustment.
Most definitely.
But every time you get hit with anything, it could be a jab, it could be a body shot, it could be anything. It's because you made a mistake. But he just made the ultimate mistake.
Definitely, and for me, I get frustrated sometimes from the outside looking in. People seem to have very short memories. The first fight with Cole, George winning by a mile. The second fight with Cole, in my opinion, that it counts for anything. Again, winning.
Yeah.
And George seems to be, you know, a lot of people not showing the right level of respect in my eyes in public.
Yeah, but I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that. We don't have fans like the 80s and the 70s because we didn't have social media. So if fighters wanted to have fans, they went out and they got fans. They'd done things in the community. They got to know fans. The fans felt that they were a part of it. Fans today are more fans of the event than they are of the actual athletes. You know, don't forget when Carl Froch came back from losing the ward, he boxed that dude. What's his name? The first guy when he came back. The first fight after Ward, anyway, he came back. Yusuf Mack.
Right, yeah.
4,500 people.
Yeah.
He fought Usain Bolt in front of 9,000 people. They're not huge shows. Then he fought Kessler in front of 20,000. So how did he all of a sudden go from having 4,500 fans, 9,000 fans to Kessler? It was the event. It was him and Kessler. It wasn't Carl.
Yeah.
Carl's 4 biggest fights has been 2 with Kessler and 2 with George. There have been his 4 biggest events. So when you think about the public not really giving him his credit or so on, they just want the winners. They just
sheep, as you said before, sheep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a case of Rabrasi hasn't fought in this country before. He's not known. He hasn't necessarily been given a lot of coverage coming up to this fight. But from my point of view, I'm quite content. I don't care about the European title. I don't care about the #1 ranking. I just care that this fight has to be a win.
Definitely.
Gets the win, people will be back on board again.
Finally, Pad, correct me if I'm wrong, you strike me as quite a spiritual person.
I'm trying.
Do you encourage your fighters to think that way?
Oh, I encourage anyone to think that way. I think you're in for a bit of a shock if you think that we're just born here to have a job and pay taxes and die. So I'd encourage everyone to think of it that way. Yeah. Or at least give it a shot.
Well, listen, Pad, thank you very much for your time. I wish you all the best on Saturday, mate.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.